Hello everyone and welcome back to the Obscure Review series for Geeky Glasses TV. Today I, the Ginger Geek, am here this time with a request to look at War of the Monsters on PS2. So on the demand of user Excelsior Production 7, we quickly grabbed a copy of the game, whacked it in the PS2 and found what is a little bit of a dream game for me. War of the Monsters is pure B-movie. Its presentation reeks of the kind of drive-in movie aesthetic to the point where the menu is literally a drive-in theatre. The whole kind of 50s monster art setting is present in everything. The loading screens are all posters for fake movies, the monsters are ripped straight from William Castle movies, and there's characters that are clearly direct references to Godzilla, King Kong, and the Japanese mech genre. It's a great style and one that's used too little in games. The only other game I can think that uses this sort of setting is Destroy All Humans, and personally, I don't think that game does it as well as War of the Monsters does here. Enough about the presentation though, because obviously that means nothing if the game plays poorly. Rather brilliantly however, that is most certainly not the case here. The game plays exactly as the title implies it would. You're a monster, and you fight other monsters in a beat 'em up reminiscent of the Power Stone series. Weak and ranged attacks are mapped to square and heavy to triangle. It's no Street Fighter by any means, you aren't going to find anything complex here, but that said, if you can grab a friend for some multiplayer, you'll lose hours throwing each other through buildings. The core mechanics make for some epic moments. In our recorded playthrough alone, we had one instance in which one of us was crushed by the building he was trying to climb, and another instance in which one player managed to launch not only myself, but also two other AI monsters hurtling across the other side of the map, all at the same time. In multiplayer, this is one of those games that lends itself to these kind of ridiculously fun, unscripted moments. Sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's epic, but all in all, it's an absolute blast. That goes for the multiplayer. Unfortunately, the single player, I can't sing too much praise for. The thing that makes this game suffer the most is it's clearly one you're supposed to play with friends, yet a lot of the content, such as unlockable monsters and stages you would use in the competitive modes, can only be unlocked through means of the single player adventure mode. When I first started the adventure mode, I thought it was actually pretty damn cool. All the monsters were introduced with their own unique little cutscene displaying their powers and abilities. There's a narrative in there somewhere, I think, as the cutscenes between fights seem to link, but God knows what the hell is really going on here. After a while though, fighting against the AI monsters becomes really monotonous. They change it up every now and then by throwing more monsters into the mix than you're used to, or large bundles of weaker guys, but without a friend to throw against buildings, it's just not fun. They also throw in some boss battles. Unfortunately, these are horrible. That said, this is not a single player game. And although it sucks that a lot of unlocks can only be reached through the single player track, that is not to say there isn't enough content available at the start of the game to have a blast with. Unfortunately, being on PS2, there is only 2-player. Yep, even with a multi-tap. Had this game been released with 4-player on, say, GameCube, it would have been a bona fide classic. But as it stands, it's unfortunately held back by the limitations of 2 PS2 controller ports. This in mind, it's still a hell of a good laugh to play. And hot seat gaming is always fun, so grab some friends and go kick the crap out of each other. War of the Monsters style. Okay guys, so that's another episode of the Obscure Review in the bag. Should you like us to cover any game you think might be worth looking at, then feel free to comment with feedback, suggestions, or if you liked it, give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks guys.